Going on, guys? Just back again with another video update. This is the engine. Just got her tore down to the bare block. Gonna take her to the machine shop and replace these cam bearings. And they felt a little rough to the hand, so I'm gonna have to. Got the cylinders honed. Got a little hone over there. Flex hone. It does a really good job. I was actually quite surprised. They're a little pricier than the, what you call it, the 3-stone or 2-stone hones, but I feel like that one does a more complete job anyways. I really like using it. Here's my hot tank set up. Right now what I have in there is the crankshaft. It's been 5.5 hours. I want to make sure that it's all completely good, including the inside of the journals and everything like that. I do have a little brush. This little brush right here. This little brush right here, I'll use this to get inside the journals. I already tested out all the journals with it beforehand. I can actually go clear all the way through. The way I get it. Yeah. These are parts that I did already. Before, oh man, I wish I took a video of what it was before. These were absolutely caked, and I mean caked. This whole thing was black, and you couldn't even tell what material it was made out of before. A little plastic cover done too. Front cover, the inside of it's looking almost like factory fresh, pretty much factory fresh. The seals are going to get replaced. I just hadn't taken them out. Same with the rear cover. You see here, real clean. The rear main seal. I have a new rear main seal. So the inside of this oil pan, nice and clean. A tiny little bit left, but I put this cover back in here. I took this out to do it. This was done separate. Well, it was all in the same tank, but it was done apart. It had a 1/2 inch of sludge on the bottom. And talking to a person, a Facebook friend, he serviced a lot of fleet vehicles. Mine was a fleet vehicle before I got it. I know that because of the no smoking stickers on the inside of the car that were affixed to the window. And I worked at the dealership that it was traded in at, and the guy was the owner of a company. So yeah, here's the parts. Rear main seal, gaskets, more gaskets, valve cover gaskets. This is the valley cover gasket, oil pan gasket. This is the performance timing set from Summit. Seen a lot of good reviews on that. Got a new oil pump, Melling performance oil pump. It's like plus 10% pressure or 18% flow, 10% pressure, or vice versa, something like that. It's going to be pretty good. Got the engine stand. This block is actually going to get in that hot tank. I don't know if you can see it. See the steam. There we go. Maybe you can see it now. I can see the steam coming off of it. I'd say that's probably about 200 degrees, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. It's not quite boiling. Got the wood over it to help keep the heat in, to make sure it's as close to boiling as possible. 212 degrees isn't going to hurt the crank. It'll see that while it's running, if not probably a little bit more. And I decided to go with the big propane tanks. I used to do the little propane tanks, but big propane tanks, I had 2 for my barbecue. I got a little hose from Dick's Sporting Goods to adapt that metal plate. I had that from another project I did way back in the days. So I was like a teenager when I did that. And now I'm using it to help keep the heat on the bottom of the sink to help heat it up. But yeah, these propane tanks, 20 bucks for 15 pounds versus the little 1 pound tanks that run for about $5 a piece where I'm at. So you can do the math, $5 for a pound or 20 bucks for 15 pounds. I got 2 of them. As you can see, I also clean the garage too, for the most part. Take a peek at it, see if we can get a little peek at it, see if you'll be able to see it. Water's probably pretty dark from all the oil that came off of it. Yeah, pretty dark. Yeah, there's that little silver you can see right there. That's the reluctor wheel. There will be more to come on assembly. I just ordered the pistons and the rings. I will also do a video on measuring your bore. I got some tools down there. I already measured them. They're all within about 8 10 thousandths of each other. 8 10 thousandths or 1/1000th of an inch at the most, variant between them from the factory spec of 3.780. So I'm not gonna get it machined to the point where I needed to get it, like, you know, bumped out 5 thousandths or anything like that. It should be good. You know, 1/1000th of an inch isn't gonna hurt it. I'm only doing, you know, 500-ish horsepower. It's not like I'm building a, you know, drag only 10-second, you know, quarter-mile car or nothing like that. Should be good to go. Oh, and if you're wondering what pistons look like, these are the pistons right here. Those are the Gen 3 rods, Gen 3 pistons. They actually didn't look too bad. The piston's not all scuffed, anything like that. So, oh, these are my main caps, main bearing caps. Those were hot tanked and I wiped them down with oil. I'm telling you, the hot tanking really does a good job. This was completely black when I started. It's got a nice light coat of oil on it to keep them from rusting, but that, it goes between the crank and rod assembly, or the rotating assembly, and the oil pan. It's like a splash guard or something like that, but it goes on, and you have to take it off if you're trying to get to the rods or bearings from underneath, if the vehicle's still, you know, all together and you got the engine in the car. And don't forget, always use OEM lifter trays. Don't get any kind of aftermarket lifter tray, especially those cheap Chinese ones. Just go with AC Delco lifter trays. Those are the ones out of the vehicle. Those are hot tanked as well, and they turned out fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Valve covers, as you can see, the valve covers are looking pretty good, nice and clean. Get underneath. I also hot tanked my intake manifold. Obviously, when you hot tank your intake manifold, if you're gonna hot tank your intake manifold, make sure you take the sensor out, make sure you take the fuel rails out. You know, I took the hardware off, all the hardware off that I could. You know, this little vacuum line, everything like that, stuff like that, bolts. But she was filthy, and oh yeah, I got my new gaskets on there, as you can see, ready to go. If you have gaskets on yours, they are reusable. If and only if you got, like, you can feel, like down here, if I can focus, if it'll focus. It's going in and out of focus. Darn autofocus. Let's just try it like. So there'll be like, it'll be raised slightly. If it's completely flat and flush with the plastic, the hard plastic, it's no good. That, and if it was super leaky before, just get new ones. Mine, I've replaced them, so they were leaking pretty bad, especially the valley cover. This valley cover was caked. The front and back of the engine was caked. Now it's all clean. inside and out. Any questions, leave them down below on my hot tanking process. And that's Holman camping stove, industrial sink from a restaurant website, restaurant supplying website. Just your run-of-the-mill stainless steel, run-of-the-mill propane, run-of-the-mill Holman grill. You can get these easily, and that was $180. That was, I think, 50, 60 bucks. Propane was 20 bucks. Hose was 20 bucks. If you're gonna do a lot of this, which, you know, an entire engine, I highly recommend, you know, going and getting the bigger setup so you can do your block and everything like that, if you're wanting to do all that. If you're just doing a little part here, a little part there, like the $300 or $310 or $320 I spent on all this, you don't need to do that. You can go get something smaller, like that actually. It was $10 pot. I use this for my bolts and stuff, and just put it on the grill and propane, and there you go. That, and you can use the propane thing for camping too. I mean, you don't have to use it just for hot tank. All right, well, oh yeah, there's the cylinder heads over there. Things are coming along nicely. There's my cam, Summit Racing Performance cam. All right, leave a comment down below if you got any questions, and I'll try to get back to you on any of your questions in a timely fashion. Thanks for watching.